we have the ratings numbers back for the Celebration Bowl. So this year's Celebration Bowl got 2.4 million viewers on ABC. With bowl season, what you have to understand is that there was only one other game that was on. It was on ESPN, and it led into the Jimmy Kimmel LA Bowl on ABC. And you had, of course, the Division II National Championship with Ferris State and Colorado School of Mines. That was on ESPNU. So it wasn't a lot of football competition, unlike it was for the Bayou Classic. Because, the Bayou Classic didn't get 1 million because it was going against all those rivalry games. But this one, it was just ABC. It was on ABC. It was during bowl weekend, Bowl Mania. I was watching the bowl games for ESPN. They were promoting, and they literally said Deion Sanders last game at Jackson State. So 2.4 million. I was expecting 3 million. I'm glad we were able to get over 2 million again. And I think it shows that there's a level of interest in HBCU football, number one, on network television, but also just in general. And, when you look at it, you look at how this game ranked against the other Celebration Bowl matchups. The 22 edition was the fourth most viewed behind 2016, where that was Grambling versus North Carolina Central, when Grambling won 10-9 on the block punt. They got 2.7 million. 2021 with Jackson State, with Deion Sanders' first Celebration Bowl, where South Carolina State won, 2.6 million. In 2015, that was North Carolina A&T in a shootout over Alcorn. They won 2.5 million. So it's number 4 behind that. And then you see, the North Carolina A&T, games. I think the lowest one was 1.8. That was 2019. Because we were tired of seeing A&T and Alcorn. I'm not going to hold you. We were tired of it. So
tired of hating. Let's clarify.
But we knew, everybody knew y'all was going to win 2019. Come on, let's be real. Everybody knew A&T was going to be Alcorn that year. And then beat them soundly. And I know Alcorn scored some points, but come on. We were like, again? Because I was rooting for Southern so hard that y'all was like, Southern, y'all going to lose too, but make it interesting. You know what I'm saying? Make it interesting at the very least. And then they lost Alcorn in the SWAC championship because that was my senior year. That was when I was graduating. It's 2019. So I'm like, bro, come on. And then it was on December the 21st, 2019. So I was like, oh my gosh. So that's why I thought that's why the viewership numbers. They were like, again, we're gonna watch something else. We're gonna watch Moesha or the Blackers or something like that. Let's watch something else. We're just gonna watch the highlights. We're gonna just watch the box score, and if it gets good, we'll turn to it. But it got 1.8 million, so that was the least viewed. And then you saw, I believe 2017 and 2018, they got 2.3 million on the dot for both years. But that shows interest. And then every year the Celebration Bowl is one of the more viewed bowls in bowl season, especially if you're looking at, hey, this is not a Power 5 conference. This is the only FCS bowl. I think that says a lot. And then, of course, 49,000 people were in attendance. So there is an interest for it, and I want to just say that I want to go even further, Arielle, and I want to just get your take on it. I want to also read off as well, all the games and then the ratings numbers that we have for the HBCU games that were on TV. And you're going to be seeing this on HBCU Pulse. You're going to be seeing this, all right? So we have the MEAC SWAC Challenge. That was Alabama State versus Howard, 485,000 viewers. The 2022 Orange Blossom Classic with FAMU, Jackson State. Jackson State blows out FAMU 59-3. That was Travis Hunter's first game before he went out with that injury. 958,000. That's at that same time you had the 2022 Black College Football Hall of Fame Classic on NFL Network. That was with Central State and Winston-Salem. 200,000 viewers. We didn't see another game on TV until the 2022 YU Classic. Of course, you had the Morehouse-Howard game, but that wasn't rated because CNBC is not rated. So we saw that game, but we don't have the numbers for that. But we would assume that did pretty well. But you had the Bayou Classic, 720,000 viewers when it returned to NBC, which is the network channel NBC. You had the SWAC Championship with Southern and Jackson State, 391,000. And of course, you have the Celebration Bowl, 2,407,000 viewers. And like I said, the Morehouse Howard game was not rated because CNBC does not do Nielsen ratings anymore. The HBCU Pigskin Showdown that was on Saturday as well during the Celebration Bowl, that's also not rated by Nielsen because it was on CNBC. And I tried my best. I tried my absolute best. I could not find the numbers for the Red Tails Classic between Fort Valley and Tuskegee. That was on ESPNU. And also the September 15th matchup between Benedict and Savannah State. That was on ESPNU. And it was on at the same time as the Chargers Chiefs game on Amazon Prime. I could not find it. I would assume that those numbers probably did well. And I don't know why it's so hard to find ESPNU's numbers, but those are the games that we have ratings for. And I think, Arielle, that it says a lot about the interest for HBCU football, even without Deion Sanders being in the mix. But what do you think about these ratings numbers?
I think, just you, because I've, we talk about them bits and pieces and stuff. And, first, thanks, for keeping up with those, because if it's not a stat, I'm probably not researching it. But just to hear them, and honestly, to hear the gradual progression of just going up and up and up, I think this is great. And it's my fear that I don't want them to fall. Just because in me, just a little bit, I kind of feel like maybe we lost our figurehead unless, something happens in a way, just a little slight doubt in me. But I just think that HBCUs, and more or less a pro and a con, we do our best every year, which is a pro, and we try to put on the best show every year, which is a pro. And I think this year in both conferences, I think we saw some really, really great games, some better games that we've seen in any Pac-12, SEC, ACC, NFL games especially. We've seen some better matchups and some better plays and some better players. So in that aspect, it's great, but also a con, always trying to be a great. Seems like we're chasing people and we're chasing networks and we're chasing ratings when we really shouldn't have to. We should have some type of equilibrium between what people are used to watching, what's been put out there, what we're programmed to watch, then giving these men a chance to showcase their talents, and not always have special HBCU bowls or retired player bowls or made up bowls. I mean, the Chris Paul bowl was fine. That's cool. Congratulations to him for getting his degree from Winston. That was really, really nice. I didn't know about that, but that was really great. That's just my fear. We're always going to be great and we're always going to do good. And I hope these ratings get better. And I loved what was brought to the table. But at the same time, I don't want what kind of brought a lot of media attention to HBCU sports to go away. I want us to hit 3 million, like how you wanted the Celebration Bowl to hit 3 million. I want us to have more progressing views. And the only way to do that is to really for the coaches to really work this PR and to really understand that these players deserve a view, like Deion Sanders understood. The one thing that I can commend him and really love him for is that he knew these men needed a view. They just need somebody to look at them. That's really all a football player wants when you're trying to go to the next level or trying to make something happen. I just need somebody to look at me. And as long as that aspect and that mantra keeps going, I think we'll be fine. But like I said, it's just a little deep fear in me that what was making us famous, in a lack of better words, is what also may be our downfall next year. Just a little bit, not something major, but just a little slight dip in what we're used to or what we've been presented now.
I don't think that Deion Sanders leaving is going to be as big of a move down for the ratings, because I think that media attention needs to be better. And Deion Sanders brought a dearth of that. Like, you saw Good Morning America at FAMU as well as, at Jackson State. And, at FAMU, we have FAMU alumna Kim Godwin, that's the president of ABC News. So that might have helped out a little bit. Whereas I would go to Jackson State and FAMU, I would have done that. But, like Deion Sanders, it was a story that was there. And I think that what you see within the media is that they want an easy story to tell, and then they'll tell the backstory. Like give me the climax, give me the major points, and we'll go and find the supplementary pieces. Like you look at 60 Minutes, you look at Good Morning America, and you look at all the spotlight of Jackson State. I think that that's what you saw. What you don't see anymore is people going to find these stories and seeing that, hey, we have this audience built up, so let us talk about HBCU football. Like you look at Howard Cosell, and I'm reading about it. I would love if someone had the video to show me when Howard Cosell spotlighted Grambling. in the 1960s with Eddie G. Robinson, and that helped Grambling in, exposing themselves to mainstream America, and they became sort of America's black team. But I think that media attention has to be equitable, and we have to look at media attention for what it is. People are going to go for the biggest story, but you have to look at black media outlets to tell that story. And we have to be better, because we have to not go for the low-hanging fruit. And that's one thing I tell myself in my team that does content. We can't go for the low-hanging fruit all the time. Like North Carolina A&T, we can't post North Carolina A&T all the time. We have to post Fort Valley and all these other schools, Like, we have to have a diversity of that. And I think that Deion Sanders is gone, so the low-hanging fruit for the media to get, they probably not going to try to talk about HBCUs no more. Now, they might try to be like, no, we still care, and they'll go to A&T, they'll go to FAMU. But, like, we have to find value in black spaces and understand that if the communities don't watch and don't care about what we care about, that we're going to care. And we're a niche product. Like I said with the WWE example a while back, we're a niche product, sell to a niche audience. There's nothing wrong with selling to this niche audience, band culture, Greek life, just good football, history. That's what we want to see. And I think that these commissioners, as they negotiate their media deals, you look at these numbers, we're going to put them out, so you don't have to go search for them, and they already know them. Go, and you got the ESPN Plus numbers. They're not privy to the public unless they release them. Go take these numbers, look at them, and tell ESPN, hey, I want some more games on ESPNU. I want some more games on ESPN2. We got to get some games on ESPN, and I need at least one more game on ABC. I need one more game. I need the Aggie Eagle Classic. I need something. I need Jackson State Alcorn. I need something. I need the Southern Heritage Classic. I need something on ABC. Or I need something on NBC, CBS, Fox. We got to get it. Even if I got to move my game to Friday. I know that fact for especially a classic, we couldn't do that because that's a big attraction and you want to get tickets. But even if it meant like we moved that Benedict Savannah State game, that's on a Thursday. And you have some of these games that move to Thursdays and Fridays. You had Alcorn versus Valley. That was on a Friday. And then you saw on a Thursday, you saw North Carolina Central versus Morgan State. But I need that TV attention because that's ad dollars, that's sponsorship dollars, and that's a way to reach a black consumer that might not have been trying to look at HBCU football, but since it's on their screen and they're watching ESPN and they might not care about the Thursday night football game. They might be like, you know what? I don't got nothing else to do. I got time. Let me watch. And then they see Davis Richard and they're like, whoa, this dude is good. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, whoa, this is a good game. And like, oh, Jerry Rice went to Mississippi Valley? Oh, let me tune in. Oh, what? Walter Payne went to Jackson State? Now it's like, it's a level of discovery, not for someone that's not in the community, but for a black fan that might not have seen the value in HBCU football, that level of discovery. But we're not going to get that media attention. We have to get it from us. And that's what, as media purveyors, we have to be better at. But I can go on and on about media. We can go on and on. As you know, Ari, we can go on and on.
Like what you hear?
Yeah.
Subscribe to HBCU Pulse Radio on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also, head to HBCUPulse.com to stay up to date on what's going on in the HBCU community. Thank you for listening to HBCU Pulse Radio.